Herman J. Russell built a multi-million-dollar company with determination and resiliency.
Whose impact in Atlanta is lasting and whose vision and legacy lives on.
He literally built the business brick by brick. And as he built it, he had the vision to continue forward and build a legacy that now all of us can enjoy.
His organization built notable parts of the city and its skyline, from the airport to Midtown, multifamily housing to iconic corporate headquarters.
Create jobs, create hope.
If our people in our community are going to be hired, guess who's going to hire them? Black businesses.
And in just over 4 years since its creation, the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs is already making history.
The H.J. Russell Companies routinely makes the list of the top 25 African-American businesses in the country.
There are very few times in life where you get to be a part of something you know will outlast you. There are even rare moments where you get to be a part of something that could potentially change the course of history.
I got a whole crew from I married the Oklahoma girls. So that's why
good for you. Very smart.
Jay, how are you?
I'm the president and CEO of the Black Wall Street.
Oh, there's celebrities in the building.
We're getting ready to do a Greenwood, it's called the GM, the Greenwood Entrepreneurship at Moton. We're rehabbing, you've been around Moton, you've seen the rehab that's taking place in Moton. So we came here, Christian and I came here a couple of months ago, and we were in this building when we called Coop and said, hey, we need to do an inner city visit to Atlanta. So that's what this is. And so I just wanted this group of people, these group of leaders, to see what the possibilities are when we're talking about an entrepreneurship.
Well, then step into my office, y'all. That was very clear. The crazy part is 4.5 years ago, none of this existed. This was a gutted out building with roaches and rats. We ain't had no money, we ain't had no staff, we ain't had no laptops, we ain't had no snacks, we ain't had no nothing. This room didn't have no carpet, it didn't have no ceiling. In a city like Atlanta, we had to have a safe space for black people to fail and fly. Our whole lives we've been told that we gotta be twice as sharp, 10 times as on point, 100 times more crisp, just to compete with mediocre folks. And as black men and women, we didn't have places where we could be vulnerable enough to raise our hand and say we don't know. Yeah. So we faked it till we made it. We couldn't appear incompetent. If any of you guys have a corporate background, you're thinking, damn, if I mess this up, it may not never be another sister or brother that gets this position. We lose GDP every year because the brilliant ideas that reside on the south side of the tracks of every city in America never reach the marketplaces they don't believe they belong. And the only difference between that north side and south side is access, opportunity, and exposure. That's right. It. People talk about crabs in a barrel.
Yes.
Crabs don't grow up in no damn barrel.
They get thrown in one.
Correct, and who did? Because when crabs are in their natural environment, they get together and make other crabs. They live harmoniously. You put them in an unfamiliar environment where they're struggling for their survival, they change their behavior. Put them back in an environment in a community, live harmoniously and grow together. We gotta take care of ourselves, because if we get this right, it ain't about what we can teach. If we build a community right, community takes care of itself. Right? I need a camera, I buy it from you. I need a bus, I need it from you. I need some water, I buy it from you. I need a videographer, I get it from you. And sooner or later, we start creating what we call our rice economy. We can start measuring how much economic influence we have within our circle and our community. And once we can articulate that to the world gets interested, because you're saying, wait a minute, y'all generated over $425 million of new economic energy in the city of Atlanta? If you go through my lineage of work, one of the things that catapulted my success was a company that was Greenwood Archer. My first investment firm, my first private equity company, and I was inspired when I walked the streets of Tulsa. It's so powerful for me to see a room full of people that look like me, that have traveled from another state, but more specifically a spiritual place like Tulsa, Oklahoma, in Atlanta, sharing ideas freely Because as I've told every group that's here, we are not the organization that's gonna sit up here and tell you we're the best and good luck.
Right.
We ain't got time for that. And so whatever we can do to support what you guys are building, we've hopped on many a plane. We've made plenty of a road trip. Our ideas are your ideas. One of the things that's worked, we have 14 other organizations in the building. Why? Because I never believed that one organization could successfully solve anything. To give you some history though too, Herman Russell, if you're black and in business in Atlanta, you have to give credit and give kudos to Mr. Russell. First black MBE in the state of Georgia, built half of our skyline. Brother had a pool inside his house at the age of 30, where a young Dr. King used to go and swim and try to figure out how to change the world. Was one of the chief lieutenants and underwriters of the civil rights movement. This is the brother that integrated our Chamber of Commerce at the city and the state level. And to give you context of how special this space is, think of a black man 78 years ago, Jim Crow segregated racist South, where there were still documented lynchings of black men for just thinking too much of themselves, and that was their only crime. This brother had the audacity to dream up a headquarter building that is a full city block wide and 50,000 square feet 78 years ago. He built it on this hill directly across the street because before the tree overgrowth, you could see Morehouse, Clark, Spelman, Morris Brown, and ITC. He knew that back then, where we had to go to the best schools available for black people, because I went to UGA, but my daddy couldn't, not my great-granddaddy, my dad. He knew that as they would matriculate from all over the world, they needed to see the physical manifestation of what was possible for people that looked like them. So he built his headquarters on a hill overlooking those campuses. So every day they matriculated, they could be inspired. But that was the building that Herman built. That was his headquarter building for over 70 years. The family moved the headquarters to Midtown. This building sat dormant for 6 years and they wanted to do something to honor their father's legacy. So I was brought on to dream up what this empty building could be. And yeah, here you are today.
We are the Black Wall Street Chamber, but I do believe we have to operate more like an entrepreneurial support organization. And so this idea of membership, as it's traditionally been done from a chamber, is just not something that we should be thinking about. We need to operate, but very much like this, right? This sort of platform for our entrepreneurs. So you've inspired me for sure, and your words are right on point. And I couldn't have told you what to say better than the way you said it to this group, because this is, for me, we talk about MLK and hanging out in different rooms, but we are those people. Like people will be talking about the room where this happened, and you will be a part of that story. And so this is really exciting. So thank you.
Oh, I'm honored, man.
But I will tell you all that Mr. Russell is a lot more than just a symbol for us. What y'all are in right now is hallowed ground for the city of Atlanta. But when you see someone like Mr. Russell that did it, and not only did it, but did it with black excellence, y'all, now we know that this is a community development. It's not about your individual company hockey sticking. Let's find ways to connect that are real, because we will never build another Russell Center. If I go to Tulsa or OKC and talk about Herman Russell, they'll be like, who? But I'll tell you, when I say that name here in Atlanta, especially anybody over the age of 50, there's a level of respect that's just given. And so that we are building on top of. So I want to plant some seeds today that let you all take it back to Tulsa and do this in your own way.
Man, I don't say this because I'm from here, but Atlanta's special for black people, right? Like, if you compare it to other cities, maybe Detroit, maybe Memphis, maybe Chicago, maybe, you're gonna find the right mixture of politics, opportunities, and companies in the right place to really make it work the way that it's worked here. It can work on a scale anywhere. You get the right people behind you, you could do anything. It could work on the right scale anywhere. We have been fortunate to be right here in Atlanta, where we've done a lot of hard work, but some of it's just falling in our lap, right? And those are the kinds of opportunities that you can't really plan for or account for when you're somewhere in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or you're in Montgomery, Alabama, or you're in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
It was our tour when we came the first time, and we just walked in dry. Right on that. Let me give you a tour.
We got great people here. We want to see us succeed. Any opportunity we can provide, we're happy to do it. So you all be safe going back home.
Thank you.
And look.
It is very difficult for a small business to grow paying dollar for dollar for every service. So what we're showing them to do is to barter, just like everyone else does. So if you really want to grow, find people who have the same vision as you and barter, collaborate. I hope y'all hear me saying this until I am tired in the face. Collaboration beats competition every day of the week.
And these are the bridges that we need. You know, we have to look at these models outside of Oklahoma to really get best practices that are happening now and implement those best practices at home. And if we can do that, we can do anything. You know, everybody tries to go back to that American adage, you know, if I don't like how you're doing it, I'm gonna go do it myself, damn it. And that is a great thing when it comes to having the gumption, having the self-confidence. But what's not so great about that is that you alienate yourself from people and organizations when you do that. And we have to find ways that there are pathways to common ground where people are having a shared experience that is growing the future of our economy, because quite frankly, systemically, we've been left behind, and we don't need that to happen anymore.
Black Wall Street!
Hey y'all, it's your girl Damali from NYCU.FM and World One Development's news you can use with my co-host.
Hey, Mr. Charles Harper from NYCU.FM, and we still here.
We're still here.
In the ATL. Hey, let me tell you something. ATL is real.
Man.
They make things happen, and what I love about it, even though they're doing extraordinary things, everybody's so humble about it, Damali, and it's so welcoming. And we have brought in a 25-member delegation from Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood, and we here.
Yes.
And we got a special guest.
We do have a special guest. So we could not leave. We heard as soon as we landed that we could not leave unless we came to Russell Innovation for Center for Entrepreneurs. So we have one of a very important person. He's going to give you his title. But Mr. Shakur, go ahead and tell him a little bit about yourself. Give him your name and what you do.
Absolutely. So my name is Shakiri Moraine, and I'm the Director of Innovation Solutions here at the Russell Center. You know, I stand on history that is here because I'd be remiss without starting with Mr. Herman J. Russell that built this foundation. And he didn't just build it by building a business, he connected it to civil rights. And so everything I'm standing on, everything we talked about in this tour, bring together Atlanta Black Chamber, our Tulsa group, the Russell Innovation Center. This is the collaboration beating competition every day of the week. So now it's not about our individual companies, but it's about us collectively growing into something that we never could have envisioned.
Yes. So why is it important to you that Tulsa come here and see what you guys are doing? And then a second part to that question is, why are you so willing to help Tulsa get to where you guys are?
Excellent question. And you know, for me, I'm originally from Jackson, Mississippi, so I know what it feels like to not have opportunities, you know, to see talent and to see people that have that talent but not able to realize that talent just because of the environment that they're in. And so I came to a city like Atlanta, and you see generations of wealth built in the Black community, but it started with people like Maynard Jackson and Ralph David Abernathy and Dr. King and Herman Russell doing these things so that now 70 years later, we can take the benefit from them. And so my question is, how do we then take these seeds and plant them in places like Tulsa and Jackson and Chattanooga, so 70 years from now, our kids and our grandkids are talking about these exact same opportunities, and they're talking about us as the ones who innovated and took the chance. Because we know we could all just go out and get a safe job and live a safe life and never really take any chances, but that means that our kids aren't gonna be able to move forward. So I wanna see innovation. I wanna see us taking some chances, but calculating those chances so that our next generation gets to benefit from it.
Man, I like that. We've been here for about 4 days now, and this right here's the grand finale. You know what I mean? We're gonna see if you're gonna hit that grand slam. You did that. You did that part already. But the number one thing we've heard at every location is collaboration. So one is, why is collaboration so important? And if somebody asks you the 3 things that make collaboration work, or what are the 3 things that you think allows collaboration to work between entities or individuals?
Sure. You know, and I think a lot of this you all saw on the tour. You know, you go to Morehouse, You go places like Coca-Cola, you came in through the Atlanta airport, and that Atlanta airport is a great example of collaboration. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's forced collaboration because there's no way that this city would have given 10% of its contracts to minority contractors unless they absolutely had to. They fought Maynard Jackson on that. But after that happened, Atlanta sits on this beacon on the hill for southern cities. There's very few places you can go to in the South where you find this many corporate headquarters, this many major universities, and also this many straight up entrepreneurs. And so that mixture of things, I believe it allows us to collaborate in unique ways because we don't have to go out of the ecosystem to get large things. Everything from the initial idea to the venture capital investment to the store that we're gonna put it in, the headquarters end up being right here. So we're talking to those business owners and connecting them to the leaders of corporations and making them go back to get the education that they need so that it propels us all forward.
I love it, Kamali. I know we could be here all day. Well, because we've been hanging out for a while. But let's give them one more question.
Yes.
Because, man, the energy is good. So I'll go ahead. We get our final question.
So my final question, because I know we have to get out of here, is if someone wants to follow what it is that you guys do and learn more about this organization, how can they do that?
Excellent question. So you can go to www.russellcenter.org and follow everything we're doing. There's a link for Become a Stakeholder. And even if you're not attempting to be a member today, that will give you access to all of our corporate events. And then follow us on all social media. #RiceAtlanta on all social media outlets.
Right, and my final question is just 3 nuggets for people out there, 3 things to stay away from. Because here, man, you just see how you win, but you have to have some losses sometime in that learning phase to get to where you win it. What are 3 things for maybe young entrepreneurs or startups? Be like, man, if nothing else, stay away from these 3 things.
Yeah,
they warn you.
The first thing is having individual goals for your company. And those goals being strictly financial, meaning like I want my company to hit $1 million in revenue. I'd rather a company talk to me about who they want to collaborate with, what kind of synergies they want to make so that they can grow beyond that. Second thing is, we look at our idiosyncrasies as minorities and we say, ooh, I can't do that. You know, my company's not big enough. I don't have the resources. I don't have the capital to get that thing done. But Mr. Russell started with nothing. He had a deep speech impediment, so many times he had to have a spokesperson on his behalf. He stood 5'6". And so I do think that seeing our positives and just coming to the table and playing the game, a lot of times it will allow us to win. So I do think those 2 things, in addition to just knowing your environment, really and truly understanding the community that you're in and what that community needs, because I see people even come here and they have a transactional mentality where they want to come in, they just want to get clients, they want to grow their company, and they go out just as quick as they come in. The people who stay are those that are willing to give of themselves. They get free workshops, free classes, come give free game to our people so that when it comes time for a contract, you're the first person I think of. But it's not extending the wallet first, it's extending the hand of friendship first.
All right, man. And the final thing we want to say, man, all the people back in Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of Black Wall Street, just give them an invitation to come see you, to come hang out with you, and let them know the ATL got love for them.
Man, y'all better come here. Look, welcome to Wakanda. This is home. This is your home. We are here. It's built by us. It is for us. This is for us to fail and to fly. Even if your company isn't successful, stay right here because you might join something and make it successful. So be part of this family. We need it. You need it. We are part of the ecosystem that allows us to get to that next thing that we're all trying to do.
That's perfect. Hey, this is NYC.FM. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Charles Harper, with my superstar, other guest host,
Mr. Molly Wilson.
We live from the ATL, y'all. Wish we had a little bit. We signing off. This is The Recap.